You're listening to the Spark Your Light podcast, episode number 248, a simple mindset shift for stressful situations. This episode is for you if you feel like when you're encountering a stressful situation, sometimes you feel overwhelmed, which is totally normal. It means you're human. And you're looking for some positive perspectives to just shift that energy and handle stress better. This is something that I know I struggle with as well. And this mindset shift has really helped me just be more grounded in stressful situations. And so, like all my episodes, it's something that I recently experienced and has recently been really helping me. So if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, following along, you probably know that I have a 4-month-old baby boy, and he has been through his fair share of health challenges. And so it's been really busy, and I run my own business and I have a home to take care of and all the other things that, people do in life, cook and clean and all the regular things on top of it all. And so I've been in a lot of situations that just feel stressful recently, whether it's because there's a lack of time, whether it's because there's a stressful situation with my son Michael's health. And I have needed a perspective to be able to grasp onto when things are stressful in order to help me reframe, to help me feel better in the moment. And so this perspective has really helped me. So here it is. I am capable of getting through this. It's that simple phrase that you can tell yourself when something is coming up, when you're in the middle of it, when the negative thought spiral begins, to remind yourself that I'm capable of getting through this is so powerful, because what it does is it allows you to take a breath, to calm down and remind yourself of your power, which is always inside of you, but sometimes outside circumstances cause us to forget our own power. And what happens when you start with just one small positive phrase is that it starts to multiply, and one phrase becomes another phrase. So you go from I'm capable to yes, this is possible to solve. And even though this feels hard, I know I can get through it. And what's one possible solution? And all of a sudden you start spiraling upwards instead of downwards, and you start to have more and more positive thoughts. So the next time you're in a situation that feels stressful, that feels overwhelming, I want you to just come back to this affirmation. I am capable of getting through this. And immediately what will happen is your brain will start to come up with solutions to get through this. You will take those walls down where you feel a lot of fear, where you feel a lot of anxiety or stress, and instead you will start to find solutions. And this happened to be earlier today, actually. I was just having a quite crazy day, and you can see if you are watching this video. So if you're a regular listener, you know that my podcast is usually audio only, but I'm experimenting with video now. So if you're not watching the video and you want to watch the video, head over to my YouTube channel, which I will make sure is linked in the show notes for you. And you can watch this on video as well. So I'm here recording this in a beautiful podcast studio, and I had quite a few things to do earlier today. Michael's been having some more small hiccups in his health journey. He's doing a lot better. Thank you to everyone for following along on his journey and sending love and positive words through his time. And if you listen to the episodes on hope and fear, you know that he was able to get his tube out and pass his fast. So things are going a lot better. But when I was about to come and record these episodes, his pediatrician was calling me. They want him to get these different tests. And so I had all of this stuff going on, and I'm like, I'm going to be late for my recording, which is obviously a scheduled time. And, I have all of these things going on. And then I just reminded myself, it's okay. I'm capable of getting through this. And I think something that you realize when you remind yourself that you're capable is that things don't have to go perfectly. So you start to release some of that perfectionism that might be coming up, especially in stressful situations. If you are an ambitious person, you probably struggle with a little bit of perfectionism. And when things are stressful, they're usually outside of your control. And so what will often happen is you will try to tap into what is inside of your control, which is that perfectionism and trying to make everything go perfect. But in reality, sometimes things don't go perfect and it's okay. And you can get through it and you can be flexible. And that's one of the most important character traits of resiliency is flexibility, being able to evolve. And so when I got here to do my recordings, I had to call Michael's pediatrician back, and then I had to make a call for some tests, and the recording started a little later than I thought they would, and everything's fine. I'm here doing them, and I'm capable of getting through it, right? And so it's a small, simple example, but we all face those little things in our everyday life where something doesn't go as planned. One thing changes in our schedule, and then all of a sudden, everything else is thrown off, and you might feel like, how am I going to maneuver all these things that I have going on, right? That's when you can remind yourself, I'm capable of getting through this. And everything doesn't have to be perfect. Everything doesn't have to go as planned. It doesn't mean that anything has gone wrong. Something I think is really interesting is that we think things have gone wrong when our schedule changes, when things don't go as planned. Why do we think something has gone wrong? The best example that I can think of for this is actually 9/11. And you've probably heard the stories of the people who missed their train that day, who woke up sick and didn't go to work that day. And maybe for a time, that person who missed their train and was late, maybe they had an important meeting and maybe they thought, I missed my important meeting. They're feeling angry. They felt like something had gone wrong. Yet the literal best thing that could have possibly happened to them and their family happened that day. They missed their train. So sometimes we think something is moving us backwards, is derailing our plans, is derailing our schedule. But the truth is, something has actually gone right. And so we're not always the ones in control of that divine plan. I always say that failure is actually the universe's way of rerouting the GPS of our life to a better destination. And the same thing applies for when our schedule changes, when we're late for something, when something doesn't go the way we plan, when something unexpected comes up. A lot of the times it's happening because it's supposed to happen and it's serving us in some way, shape, or form. And sometimes we can later see why that happened and other times we can't. So with the example of 9/11, that's an obvious example that those people could all see why that happened. But maybe today in my schedule, maybe if I was 5 minutes earlier, maybe I would have gotten a really bad car accident. I know that sounds negative, but the truth is all of these divine things are happening and adding up perfectly in our favor to bring us to the exact moment where we're meant to be in. So if we just learn to trust a little bit more, then we can loosen that perfectionism and we can lean more into that flexibility and resilience. And the first step to doing so is that simple affirmation. For me, that shifted everything in my body. It's crazy how just one sentence can change everything. And I think the reason for that is because our souls know these things are true. So sometimes you choose a better thought and it just feels like a breath of fresh air. All of a sudden you feel all of the tension melting away in your body. That is how you know that that thought is true. That is how you know it's a truth. And when you choose a thought that feels really bad in your body, maybe you're thinking, I'm not enough. I can't handle all of these things that are going on. I might have been telling myself things like, I can't handle being a mom and running my business and all of these different things that I have going on right now. Maybe I'm just not enough. I could have been telling myself that. That would have felt awful. And you know what that means? That means that it's not true. If it feels awful, it's not the ultimate truth about who you are. So the next time you have a thought that feels like it's bogging you down, ask yourself, can I choose a better thought that feels better inside? Because that is a more true thought for me. So take this affirmation and also take other affirmations that feel good for you. Create your own. I always say that with affirmations, it's whatever feels right for you. A lot of times you see these catchy headlines, this is the one affirmation that will change your entire life. But the truth is, it's whatever feels right for you, whatever feels true for you, whatever resonates for you is going to be the thing that helps you the most. Ultimately, this entire episode is about the self-talk and the inner dialogue. that you are having when you are in a stressful situation. And this one affirmation that really works for me might also really work for you, which is great. But at the end of the day, what I'm really trying to get you to see is how you can start to shift that inner dialogue. And instead of spiraling down a negative thought spiral, you can actually spiral up a positive thought spiral. And then you will react differently in the situation. So something that's really interesting is our reaction comes after the thoughts, right? And so if we choose better, more supportive, more resilient, more flexible, more optimistic thoughts, then we can have a better reaction to stress, and we can have a better reaction to handling hard things that come up in our life. And ultimately, if everyone in the world could just better handle the hard things, whether it's the small hard things, because those are underratedly ruining our everyday life, like those little things that pop up. It's the delay in traffic, the road rage you might feel, being 5 minutes late to this thing that's going on, whatever it is, whether it's those things or it's bigger things that we all also inevitably face. Either way, this inner dialogue matters. So step one is start to be aware of the inner dialogue you're having with yourself. And step two is start to change it. Have a go-to phrase or affirmation that helps you calm down in stressful situations. Try the one I shared here, or pick your own if that resonates better. But just have some awareness over that and start to choose a new inner dialogue. That is going to be the thing to really change it all when you're in those stressful situations. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Thank you if you've listened to the audio or if you've watched the video. I would love to hear if you watched the video. Do you like watching video podcasts? Do you prefer video podcasts? I want to share a little bit about my inspiration quickly for this. So all winter long, I was super pregnant and it was cold outside and I was just not feeling going outside to exercise. And so I would walk on my little walking pad in my living room, and I would never have anything to watch. And I would listen to podcasts during my walk, but I didn't really want to watch like a TV show. It just didn't feel like my morning fuel that I wanted to consume. And I just wasn't really into any like docu-series that I felt were the vibe. I was really looking for some of my favorite podcasts to be on video where I could just go on YouTube and watch my favorite podcasters and exercise at the same time. And then I thought, well, it would also be nice to watch the podcast while I'm folding laundry or cooking dinner. I could just have my iPad sitting out and I could be watching it. It just feels a little bit more entertaining for me, a little bit more engaging for me. And so I thought maybe my listeners want the same thing. So I figured I would try some video episodes. So we're just testing them out. We'll do some video episodes here and there, see what you guys think, see if you like them. So I will always let you know if the episode is on video so that you can go watch it on video if you would like. I'll let you know at the beginning of the episode. And if we transition to fully video, I will also let you know. So then you'll know that all the episodes are video, but I'd love to hear your feedback. Obviously we want to do this. If it's something that you guys as listeners are really enjoying, then we're going to create these videos for you. So please let me know what you think of today's video episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will catch you in the next episode.